I'm going to prove that you can come back from depression, from drinking, from partying, from having a good time, from spending your money, and get back to where you want to be, if you want to do it. It got as dark as you can ever imagine. Hell and back 100 times. As dark as anyone's imagination will go. That's how dark it went. Very, very dark. I'm what you call a game maker. I've changed the game. Like Jack Johnson done it all them time ago, I've done it this time. In many, many ways, I've changed the game completely. So I'm just going to sit back and let them all kill each other, and I'll come in when the time's right and take whoever's the top dog out. In my opinion, it'll be Deontay Wilder.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for coming here today. An eagerly awaited press conference. It's been a little while coming, but we now know Tyson, as the poster says behind me, he's back.
Good luck, guys. You're all on notice. The Mac is coming.
Tyson, how confident are you you'll be world champion again?
100% confident. I'll definitely win a world title again.
He's done well. I mean, he's lost a lot of weight now, and I do think he's the best out there in the heavyweight division. I think if he comes back 70% of what he was, he's still the best one out there. But he's a young man. He's a young man. He's not like he's had any wars. He's been banged up in any fights. He's there and together, and he's smart. He's a good boxer. So I think he will. You know, in the next he needs about 2 or 3 fights, and once he gets those out of the way, I think he'll be ready to jump in with whoever's around.
I didn't know whether the phone was going to ring and say he's committed suicide, he's jumped off a bridge, he's run into a post with a car. I just didn't know, to the point where it's cracking me up. I thought, I don't know if I'm going to get through this myself. I thought, I'm waiting on a phone. Every time the phone rung later night, I thought, oh my God, I was cringing. I was like, hello? Like that, you know what I'm saying? It is horrible. But we went there together and I said, look, son, you're killing me, you're killing everybody around you. You know, sort yourself out. Let's beat this, and you can do it, you're better than this. And like I say, he's here, thank God.
It's a nothing fight, it's a nothing opponent, but it is what it is, you know, it's a comeback. And it's great to see him back. Great to see him back in the division. You know, he can't call out the big boys while he's fighting guys like this, but it's a bit of fun, and hopefully he looks good. I don't want him to look poor, because it will ruin any potential future fights.
I don't know where he's at. Why is he coming back? What is his motive? You know, how much drive he's got left in the tank. I don't know. So I have no idea, you know, if he can come back and be the same. I believe that when he had Peter, that was the best thing he did.
To see him come from where he's gone to what I've been seeing in the gym, you know, he's been sparring with world-class sparring partners he's had in the gym, and they've not even come close to him. His movement, dare I say it, I think he looks better he looks better than he did before he had the 2 years off. He's unbelievable, you know what I mean? But, you know, time will tell, but I mean, unless I don't know what I'm looking at, you know, I think them belts are just on hold, I really do.
I was at the top of the mountain peak, on top of the world, but I just didn't want to fight anymore. Even the day after the fight, I said on Sky Sports, I said, look, you'll probably never see me fight again. This is probably going to be my last fight. And they even said to me, Dad, a month before the fight, I said, win, lose or draw this Klitschko fight, I won't be fighting on afterwards. Honestly, I did. And he said, what are you talking about, idiot? Where's all this come from? I said, look, it just ain't for me anymore. I said, I just don't like it anymore. Not really. I want to be a world champion, but it's like, it ain't for me. I've had enough. And I suppose when you get to that point, that is your cut-off point. Look, I'm there to put a show on, I'm here to entertain the fans. It's just a return of the Mac, isn't it? It's been a long time coming, 1,000 days, and we're there, we're going to have fun in with Ben. 100%. Me and Ben has put our life and soul into this, and I ain't just doing it for me, I'm doing it for the people as well. Everyone who's depressed and oppressed, I'm doing it for Ben as well. He's got his reputation on the line. Oh, that was one of the best receptions I've seen in British boxing, that was. Return of the Mac, big style.
Now, when Tyson was coming to the ring, that was a great reception he got from the fans. He showboated and played up to him in the first 2 rounds till the referee pulled him up and told him to behave himself. And then sort of rounds 3 and 4, he started getting down to business, and there was you could see there's some good things to come from him.
He took a little bit of stick on the night. I think we need to give him a bit of a break, because I mean he has had 2.5 years out, and you know, lost about 7 stone in weight, and the 2.5 years out, you forget what it's like to be in front of the cameras. You forget what it's like to be in front of 15,000 fans, something like that. There's the pressure.
What did you make of your performance against Sefer Seferi? Obviously, long time out of the ring. How did it feel to finally get back in there?
Perfect. I enjoyed every minute of it. I wasn't looking to rush and get him out there and around. I wanted to take him deeper again into the 5th, 6th round, but he jacked it, unfortunately.
Tyson was nervous. I don't think he really admitted it at the time, but he has done subsequently. I think he was really on edge going into that ring on the comeback, and I think he covered that by fooling around. I think it was the clowning was there to disguise a little bit of an insecurity.
From what I'm seeing in the gym, like I say, I am over the moon. We've got the first one out of the way, the first hurdle with the mental and emotional battles. So I'll be looking for an exceptional performance and nothing less on August the 18th.
Right now it's a guessing game. Do you know what I mean? It's the same situation that David was in against the Demoris or the Jurjais. What's he got left, right? We didn't see anything there. We can say, yeah, he was playing about. He was only 10% of what he's got. Or he's 90% and he's just not able to find the right shots.
You want to fight the best this country's ever had? Knock on my door and see if the Gypsy King doesn't answer. Boom. The ball's in your court.
Deontay Wilder, how serious are you?
100% serious. The fight's done as far as I'm concerned. It's on. All I've got to do is beat Pianetta, and I don't know if he's going to fight his mandatory Dominic Brazil. In the meanwhile, but providing we both win, the fight's on.
It's the same thing with the Klitschko fight. Christian Hammer to Vladimir Klitschko is a big jump. But Tyson always raises his game to what's in front of him. If you look at the Joey Aber performance, it wasn't enough to beat Derek Chisora. Look at the performance against Chisora. The Christian Hammer performance wasn't enough to beat Klitschko. Look at the Klitschko performance. He always raises his game to what's in front of him, and sometimes drops it to what's in front of him as well, which is, so it balances itself out.
He's prepared to do it, and if he goes and wins it, he's the linear champion. If he goes and beats Deontay Wilder after making a statement, as he hopes, on Saturday night against Pianetta, if he can do that, then suddenly he's in a very, very strong place indeed in the affections of the boxing public to say, I'm the genuine champion.
What will it mean to me to win a world title? Nothing. Because the world titles, they are. I've got plenty of them at home. They don't do nothing for me. But to beat somebody who's good, that'll mean something. The world title itself, I'm not interested in, but to be involved in big fights and get punched back and me punch them, that's a good feeling, I think. So that's what I'm looking forward to most.
It's an exciting addition again to the heavyweight division. The Big Fury's a character and he talks a lot and people like to hear. I like to hear him. I'm a fan of Tyson Fury. I like to watch him. I like to listen to him. But it's good to have him back. But we need to see more.
It's obvious what happened. Joshua didn't accept the deal, and Tyson Fury has.
Why is that? Why was this fight different? Why was the negotiations to the fight different to the negotiations between yourself and Team Joshua?
Because Joshua didn't want the fight, and Eddie danced around making up excuses or stories.
He can be a jokester, and he can play around a lot and stuff like that. But when it comes to me, he ain't gonna have no time nor space for that. So we're gonna see how different he is. I think you're gonna see the best Tyson Fury that you've ever seen in your life. You just seen a part version of him. When it comes to me, I'm a different character. I possess a different power. I possess a different awkwardness than Klitschko did. So they take me very, very serious, and I think he's going to do the same.
I thought he'd done extremely well. He's been that ring rust. He came back with a fairly easy job against Seferi, and this job was a much, was a different proposition. What I was pleased with, he actually did get the 10 rounds. That's 10 rounds. That's in the bank. He needed that. That's better than having 3 or 4 knockovers. You know, he's got those rounds in the bank. It was fought at quite a high tempo to fight. He showed his reflexes were there, his speed was there, his footwork was there. I thought he'd done tremendously well. And he's now set up the fight. I mean, the heavyweight fight. It is the fight.
It ain't about money, it ain't about anything. It's about winning, and it means more to us to win than anything, possibly, any material things on earth. And like I said, I'm not going to go to America to gain a few more pounds than I've already got. We're going there to win as a team, and that's it.
I mean, what a time to fight Tyson Fury. I mean, he's not even at the races yet, and he knows that. But they must be giving him $30 million or whatever they're giving him. And he said, you know what, let's do it. Fair play to him, if it happens. I mean, when you look at the last 4 Tyson Fury fights, or fights that have been announced, I think he's a 50-50 whether he turns up or not. But the 2 that he did turn up with were absolute walkovers that I could have won.
I expect Tyson to win, because I know him. He's a fucker. And Wilder will have to put him to sleep, because if not, he'll not beat him. He can't beat Tyson on points. And unless he's unconscious, he's going to keep getting back up.
I think he is scared, frit to death. If I would have felt his heart would have been beaten out of his chest. Terrified.
I think you're going to see a great fight. This is the biggest fight out there, and you're going to see a great fight. And I think you're going to see a fight that you don't expect. It's going to go against all what everybody thinks is going to happen. I'm convinced of that.
How do you mean, Frank? Don't leave me like that.
Style-wise, you'll see on the night.
I'm not getting lulled by this. So Tyson's been off for a while, and he's only had a couple of fights, and this is too quick. Too quick for what? You think Tyson has to learn how to fight? He knows how to fight. He's one of the best boxing heavyweights in the division, and one of the best boxing heavyweights in years. I mean, literally, he's incredibly fleet of foot for a huge, immensely big man.
From what you've seen and he's come back so far, do you think that he can be the similar levels and produce the similar levels that we saw against Vladimir Klitschko?
No, I don't. I think it's much too early for him. But, you know, what Fury does is quite effective against a robotic fighter, like Klitschko, but not against an unconventional fighter or an orthodox fighter, like Wilder.
Bomb Squad!
Could you have envisioned him being here less than a year after coming back, fighting for the WBC world title in LA, big pay-per-view attraction?
No, I didn't, Rob. I thought he needs at least 4 fights. And maybe he does need a couple more fights. But the fact of the matter is, he wanted it. We discussed it. He said, I want it. I can beat him. And that's where we are.
Both these men know what's at stake. And what's at stake is everything. You know, on Saturday night, 2 of the best heavyweights in the world, the 2 best heavyweights in the world who are willing to fight each other, they're fighting Saturday night. And the winner is going to be the man, and the leverage in the division changes.
I don't think anybody believed that he would be in the physical condition that he is now. So, yes, it was a quick comeback, but it's been, look, he looked like the old Tyson Fury in the second comeback fight. He's been doing this his whole life. It is like riding a bicycle. So if his conditioning is good, I think that speaks well for him.
I openly said that ideally I would like Tyson to have a couple more fights. For his physical and mental, emotional, he was growing, he was in a good place and things were getting better. But he surprised me. I've never seen him so happy. I've never seen him in such a good place, all around the board, like I say, physically, mentally and emotionally.
Tyson Fury is taking the challenge. He's a big guy, he's a difficult guy to deal with. Klitschko can attest to that, you know. And I said I could easily see him winning most of the rounds, right up to Deontay Wilder knocks him out.
Tyson takes it to the next extreme because he's a guy who thrives on people saying you can't do that. Even if it's something silly like, oh, I bet you can't do 100 press-ups now. He'll get down and do 100 press-ups, 101, and he might do 120. You know, something silly. It's almost like for people to say it's too soon for you, you can't come back. He'll thrive off that, and that will only boost him and encourage him to do it.
Wilder Fury, how does it feel to be in and around such a big heavyweight fight?
Well, it brings back a lot of memories for myself, you know, fights with Holyfield and things of that nature. So I'm just glad to be a spectator, not the guy who's fighting. I'm going to tell you something, it's going to be a great fight. Somebody going to get knocked out.
Who's going to get knocked out?
Well, that's the mystery. I would like to say, I would like to see Wilder win, but Fury, he's dangerous. Fury is still dangerous, so you never can tell. You got two big heavyweights, so it's gonna be good for a little while.
Well, have to go to the guy from Alabama, the pump from Alabama. Hope he wins.
Michael, how about you, sir?
Well, you know, I'm picking them. May the best man win.
Where would you rank this if Tyson was to win tomorrow? Where would you rank this in the heavyweight great comebacks, or just in comebacks in boxing in general?
I think it's got to be up there. If not, probably the one, because you look where he's come back from. He's a guy that was it a year ago, 18 months ago, was suicidal. So for him to get himself back from that terrible state that he was in mentally to where he's at now, that's even better than being a world champion.
Oh, most definitely. His motivation, to get back out there. He went through some things. Now he's gone through them. He's come out standing, and now he's ready to get back and become the heavyweight champion again. And this is a great fight for him.
If I had to go with the safe prediction, I would go with Tyson Fury on decision.
Listen, Tyson Fury grabbed Wilder. He wanted this fight. Maybe he's got it. It's a short time for me. He seems very confident. He's got a challenge. He needs a challenge, and we're going to see what happens, how it unfolds. It's hard when you put that stuff down. You got to straighten up again and be confident and be ready and all that stuff, because you doubt yourself. You don't think you're ready for it. Hope that's not the case.
The fact that he came back from such a bad mental issues and stuff like that. It's hard, man. Once you get mind fucked, once you get into your own head, it's kind of hard to get out of it. And he the best way he could get out of it is to fight, and he fought his way out, and here he is now. And that's the one excuse they're gonna give him. If Wilder beats Fury, oh yeah, but he just came back and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he's a fighter and he knows how to fight.
I'm a power guy, so I'm gonna be into the power. So I'm more not supporting, but I'm more onto the picking Wilder for this, because that's just how I am. That's how I fight. I go out there and just give it all I got. But I think that this fight's going to be an amazing fight. I think everybody's going to be a win-win situation for everybody. It's just going to be an incredible fight. But don't get me wrong, anything can happen in every fight.
My guy kept him at bay with the jab, I think, and did give him that opportunity. But then when he did get the opportunity, he came hard and ferocious with some big shots. And I'm really surprised my fighter get up from both knockdowns. I mean, they were both really hard knockdowns, and he showed a lot of heart getting up from those knockdowns. And maybe there is a God out there.
Like I said, everyone said coming into this fight, he's fought nobody. Wilder knocked him out in a round. He only fought Sefer and Francesco Pianetta. Uzi fought on Wilder's level to prepare him, but like I said, who did I fight on Klitschko's level to prepare me for that one? I rise to the occasion. Something deep down inside me makes me the man I am. Like I said, make no mistake, I'm not sitting here and I'm not happy with the draw, but I'm a realist. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. It is what it is. My friend Dave Ray would say this: many worse things have happened at sea. So life continues. It is what it is. Oh yeah, life goes on even after the draw is done. So bye, Miss American Pie. Rode my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and wine. Come on, Freddie! This'll be the day that I die. Come on! This'll be the day that I die.
Almost definitely. I think with the two knockdowns, I think I did definitely enough to win the fight. And but hey, what can you say, man? Like I said, I'm very happy with the promotion. I'm very happy with the fight, that it lived up to the hype. And I can't say that enough. You know what I mean? Being that it was a draw and whatever. I mean, what can I do? Bob Squad!
I think it surprised not only me, the entire world. The way he got up. I thought he was out. I thought he was asleep. But the way he got up, it was like amazing. And we gotta acknowledge, we gotta give props to a great referee, because any other referee would have stopped the fight.
There are very few men who get up from that. Like, I saw his eyes roll in his head. I was running toward the ring to go up the stairs to celebrate. And then all of a sudden, it was like fucking professional wrestling. He popped up like The Undertaker. And I was like, oh my God. Like, is this guy human? And he got up, and not only did he get up, but he fought the rest of the round. And he fought it with passion. He's good for boxing. He's good. He's an inspiration to a lot of people who have been down, who have encountered real obstacles with mental illness and suicidal thoughts and drugs. I lost my brother to suicide, so I have a tremendous respect for Fury and where he's come from and where he is right now. But as a boxing fan, I love that. That was a great heavyweight fight. And I truly believe that the two best heavyweights in the world fought tonight.
Very, 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 very disappointed with the scoring. The Mexican official, I thought it was awful. Regarding the fight, it was a magnificent fight. It was dramatic. It had everything about it, And I thought both Tyson and Deontay, all what they did gave the fans a treat. And I think Tyson showed what it's like having like the balls that he's got, the heart that he's got, the desire he's got. It's just brilliant. But he got stolen away from him by that judge because it should have been the greatest comeback in the history of heavyweight boxing.
It's the biggest comeback in sporting history. You've seen comebacks. Okay, Ali had 2 fights comeback, got beat by Frazier. George Foreman, I think he had 18 comeback fights before he won the title back. Tyson come back and didn't just come back to win the title. He come back to face the most dangerous fighter in world boxing, and he beat him.
I had Fury still with the knockdowns winning 115, 111, so I had a 4-point difference for Fury. I think a few of those early rounds, where it was very tentative for both, that were sort of boiled onto the last sort of 20 seconds. And you could have some of those a little bit more to Wilder, maybe. But I still don't see how, even with the knockdowns, how you can have anything but a Fury win. I think he was very hard done by, and also a tremendous performance. Forget about coming back from where he came from. Just a tremendous performance anyway.
I thought Fury was excellent. I thought Wilder was terrible. I thought he was very dramatic. I thought the 12th round was stunning. I thought Fury won the fight by 2 rounds. I thought a draw was wrong, but not horrific, but wrong. And I thought 115, 111 was absolutely horrific to Deontay Wilder. Fury proved me wrong again.
Yeah, he'll fight in the States. He's not for the foreseeable. He'll have fights in the UK, but he'll also have fights in the States. That's where we're at. That's what we're trying to do. For him, it's an extremely big platform. It gives him great leverage in making the bigger fights. ESPN are a platform that's got nearly 3 million subscribers. They, they will throw all their might of their network behind Tyson. So, he's probably in a better position than any heavyweight in the world.
We wasn't going to go back to fight on Showtime and let the same mistake happen again, because that's the definition of stupid, expecting different results. So, then it didn't look like that was going to happen. Then we started getting whispers that Wilder was already done. And Tyson was flying. Tyson wanted to box and he was going mad and he wanted to fight. And so, we decided to, it was going to be too late. So we had to get our foot down and make a decision. And we made a decision to box on June the 15th. A few opponents got sent over and we went with Tom Schwartz.
If Tom Schwartz really wants to beat me and he really thinks he can beat me and believes it, then he'll beat me. No doubt in my mind. This is heavyweight boxing. If anybody believes something that like I believe, then they can win against anybody.
Well, this is really going to be a thrill for me because I've heard a lot about Tyson Fury. I never met him before last night. And he's tremendously engaging. He's very, very smart. I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Well, look, he's become probably one of the most recognised sportsmen in the UK, bar none. I mean, after his comeback fights, and he's become well loved by the fans as well. Where he's come back from the terrible depths of depression and suicidal thoughts, he's had to come back and get himself into where he's at. The fans have taken to him big time and they're behind him. Next thing is now to go to the States and conquer the States, and I'm quite sure he can do the same thing.
It's nothing but partying, pool parties, excitement on a daily basis.
Managed to squeeze in a little bit of boxing in between?
Nothing at all. We didn't come here to box, we come here to have a good time.
When Tyson came to you 30 stone, could you have envisioned him headlining in Las Vegas 18 months later?
No, to be honest. Not because obviously, not that he was capable of it, but because of where he was. You know, it was like it seemed a million light years away. So I wouldn't have envisioned it at that point. Within a year of his first fight, he's back at Ring Magazine #1 heavyweight of the world. So what an achievement that is, and everybody's very proud of it, pleased, and it's been a very, very good journey.
Brilliant. I've never seen him in such shape of his life. He's in the shape of his life, and this last week he's really hit form. I've seen him do a lot of round sparring over it, and he's not lost 5 seconds of any round. He's been sparring some good men. He's been knocking men out and sparring. He doesn't get punched. He's unbelievable.
Press conferences will never ever be the same after Tyson Fury.
Who's best looking at me and Tom? I'm surrounded by good looking blondes and I'm going. Just Tyson and Tom now.
It's quite amazing the transformation that he went through, you know, back in Manchester till now. He's physically and mentally in great shape. He's looking quite dangerous, and the movement that he, the movement that he has is very interesting to watch, you know, and it's quite amazing for someone his size.
How good is Tyson Fury? Oh, Tyson Fury is exceptional. He's the best heavyweight in the world right now. He is not only a big man with great mobility, but he's a very smart fighter inside the ring. The unfortunate thing for me, and I've said it to him, is that he likes to clown too much in there. He's got to get his job done, and if he was focused 100%, maybe he wouldn't be the fighter he is, because he likes to have fun inside the ring. But he's exceptional. I'm so surprised to see him up close and see the things that he can do.
I like the fact that Tyson, in the last 2 days, been joking around, having a laugh. It's all business now. He's looking at really making a statement, and it starts right now from screaming in his face what he's going to do, talking about a one-round knockout. You know, rarely does Tyson Fury knock people out in one round, at least world-class opposition. And we find out whether Schwartz is world-class tomorrow. Now, he looks the part. He's big, he's strong, he looks confident, got a great record, so he ticks a lot of the boxes. But can he fight? We find out tomorrow.
It was punch perfect. You know, I know Ben said there's a couple of things he weren't happy with, but for me it's punch perfect. You know, it's the first fight that he's had where he's actually trained for a fight rather than training to lose weight. So for me it was, he'd done everything he had to do. Great debut on ESPN. The crowd loved it. I mean, afterwards they were all cheering. So he'd done the job.
I thought it was fantastic. I mean, you know, if Tyson Fury says he wanted to put on a show, he is a showman. He's a larger-than-life personality. And, you know, when you get a quick knockout like that, you also, you know, that was entertaining, but you want to give the fans something else to be excited about. And when he came through with the dark robe on and all black, and then, you know, pulls it off and he's wearing the red, white, and blue and the top hat and comes out to the song from the Rocky movie, you know, it was fun. It was, you know, he knows how to get the crowd psyched up, and it was fun to watch.
It was a good performance. All round it was good, you know. He was he done what he wanted to do. He entertained the crowd. He put on a show, and he boxed well. So all round it was. I was pleased with it. Yeah.
I don't think there's much more I can achieve. Nothing.
So why box?
I box because I love the sport, and I box because there isn't nothing else for me to do at this young age. And I have no real interest in anything else. I don't need the money. I don't need the money. I don't need to be in training camp for 10 weeks, grinding up and down, running down the road, doing things I was doing 20 years ago. But it brings me happiness, and I do want happiness in my life, and the fight game brings me happiness, and my wife knows it brings me happiness, my family can see it brings me happiness. So that's why I do it. I don't do it for a belt or a victory. I don't do it for the money even.
I say it all the time, and people must think and say, "But he's getting better and better by camp." And this camp now, it's shown Tyson at his best. Last time it was like you could see sharpness, and he was back. He was feeling fit. The weight was down, but now
the way he's just strong now. Do you know what I mean? He's ripped, he's strong, he's big, he's hitting the pads, and he's. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how Ben's hands is holding up. Do you know what I mean? He's moving, he's super fit, and I think last time out was a great performance, but it still wasn't the best of Tyson. But I think this one could be even better.
The last fight, you could see the difference certainly after fighting Deontay Wilder. You could see the difference in his physique, his speed, and so forth. This time, he even looks better. Certainly, his physique and physically, he looks like a different man altogether.
Whatever fight he's in, he's always a fighter who puts on a lot of excitement. We saw the last fight, the movement, showboating in the ring, the combination, the speed, the fence. I don't know much about his opponent, but I know that with each fight, he's always going to be prepared and be ready. And he's been training very hard here in Vegas. He's sparring 12 rounds and feeling great, feeling fit. So we're looking forward to for him to put on a great performance.
He was able to push Deontay Wilder to the limit in a fight where he got a controversial draw. I think that fight right there shows his capabilities, that the fact that he could be out of the ring abusing his body in some horrific ways. He's able to come back, do some training, still pretty much out of shape, go through 2 warm-up fights and jump in the ring against arguably one of the biggest knockout specialists ever in the heavyweight division and get a draw.
Well, as a fighter, he looks to me to be the real goods. I look at him and I look at the other fighters, and it has to be proven, but I think he's the best heavyweight out there, and will be the best heavyweight for years. As a personality, we haven't seen one in boxing like this since Muhammad Ali.
He's bringing Muhammad Ali back in a different way, Whoever knew Muhammad Ali would be associated with the Gypsy King, but he's got a little Conor McGregor in him, and Conor McGregor was a genius, and he could do what he had to do too in a tough place, but he was a genius promoter, and this guy is along those lines. He knows what he's doing with that.
24 hours from now, Otto Wallen will feel the fury! Bob, where are you? Get the steel cage out, Bob, so this bump don't run away!
I always said, in the heavyweight division, especially in the heavyweight, one punch can change the whole landscape, and that's nearly happened. It wasn't a knockout punch; it was a cut, and it was a very, very bad cut. But Tyson and his team, they've done a good job, and certainly Tyson in the ring, he was hampered by it. There was a lot of, it was bleeding. It kept bleeding during the round, but at the end of the day, he prevailed, shipped with his fighting heart, and came through.
That was a fight where both guys had to really bite down and get through some very, very difficult times. It could have been stopped maybe either way, certainly from the cuts on Fury's side. Later in the fight when Fury was pounding on Otto, I thought maybe the referee could have stopped the fight, round 10, 9, 10, 11. But that's what boxing fans want to see when they see big guys get in the ring and rumble. They saw a heck of a fight. It's not the kind of fight that Fury usually is involved in, but he really didn't have a choice because he knew how urgent it was with the cut.
I just want to touch on Tyson's own post-fight interview after the ring. He said to you that he wanted to dedicate this win, his win, to your father, who sadly passed away, and he said that he would be looking down on you, very proud. Just what does it feel like to hear that from Tyson Fury and those emotional words about your father?
Yeah, that was nice of him. I respect him. And I respect what he said, and he's a great champion, and he beat me tonight, and yeah, he deserved the win.
Otto was very tough, fighting with the inspiration of his passing father behind him. No man that is fighting with reasons like that wouldn't not going to go over easy. And he was tough, he showed a lot of heart, showed toughness, a good chin, and like I say, Tyson showed a good engine and hurt him a few times, but just couldn't get that finish on. But he effectively fought that fight with one eye almost, So I would say that with the circumstances, bearing the circumstances in mind, it was a solid performance.
I think he'll be out for a long time with that cut. I doubt he'll make February. But what I saw was a good fight, and what I saw from the cut was lucky to not have a loss on his record, because it was a punch, and I think any other country in the world would have stopped that fight. And hopefully now he can focus on the bigger fights and make sure he boxes to the best of Tyson Fury's ability, which is very good.
Was that a fraction of Tyson the other night? No. See, the thing is with Tyson, he will always steep down to somebody's level in the ring. He'll always win, but he'll always go to their level just above. And he just raises it. So, yeah.
It's pretty simple how it came about. I got a phone call Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. And before I knew it, I was on a plane at 6 o'clock the next morning to LA. Nobody knew about it, didn't really know much about it myself, just agreed that we're going to go there and do it. I got there and then we worked a deal out, so it was quite a quick turnaround. Few hours, Paris packed the bags and was on a plane with the full family, and Brendan too.
An unbelievable man, isn't he, when it comes to achievements, from being around the corner from suicide to being on top of the world again. So there's nothing Tyson can't achieve, and with him having this bit of time off, enjoying himself to become a WWE wrestler, which we've all dreamed of doing. At one stage of our life, we all wanted to be Bret the Hitman Hart. We always wanted to be Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Sting, all of them. We wanted to be one of them. Now he's going to be one of them. So the man's smashing life.
For him, it's one of those things where he's just taking the opportunity of doing different things while he can. You know, imagine down the line, if he didn't take the opportunity, he might not get it again. So I think it's a thing for him where he's taking the opportunity, it's keeping him active, keeping him training, keeping him busy. So there's no time to, muck around and do things that we shouldn't be doing.
He must be having such a scream doing what he's doing. He's clocked the game, he's cracked it, he's right at the top end of the sport of boxing. He's made shitloads of money, and now he's found a niche because that suits his personality, his character. He doesn't look forced, it doesn't look fake when he's doing it. He looks like he's built for WWE. So, fair play to him. I think it's wicked.
It was entertaining, wasn't it? It was all good fun. The Undertaker stuff, and look, he did it for a challenge, for a marketing challenge as well as a physical and something different. It's Tyson Fury. He always does the unpredictable.
I was a little bit disappointed that it happened because it's been a good winning team and they've done extremely well, but they parted amicably, and that is what it is. I mean, they've made their decision, so that's where both of them are. And Tyson's now got a new trainer in place in Sugar Hill, and he's got to focus on what he's got coming up, which is that tough rematch with Wilder.
I'm looking for a knockout, and if I wasn't looking for a knockout, I'd have kept hold of Ben Davis, would have sharpened up on what we were doing, herky-jerky, slipping and sliding. I ain't looking for that. I ain't coming here for a points decision, I'm coming for a knockout. Like Deontay Wilder said, I'm sick of points decisions. I've had plenty of them in my career. I've had 9 of them. I'm looking for a knockout number 21. And that's brutally honest. Brutally from the heart honest. I'm looking to knock him out.
Do I think that he'll do that? No, I don't think so. And I think he'll box to a strategic game plan.
He wants to go in and knock him out, which I think is a very, very dangerous plan.
Is he really going to go to war with the single hardest puncher that's been in possibly in my time in boxing? If it is, I think it's crazy.
I'm not worried about the judging because I know the Nevada State Commission are going to do a good job. I'm not worried about it at all. But I want to put on a good show. I want to be an exciting fight. This is the biggest fight since Frazier and Ali, 1971, the first fight. And that went down as a brilliant fight. So I want this to be recognised as one of them fights.
Tyson hurt Wilder several times in that first fight, but there was never an emphasis on getting a stoppage, getting a knockout. And if there is a chance this time, or if he does hurt him, we'll encourage him to go for the stoppage or the knockout.
He was probably a little tentative and relied a lot on his boxing skill in fight one. But let's remember, that worked for him in fight one. Mm-hmm. So, when something's working for you, hence Ben Davidson, when something works for you, you don't change it.
What can we expect to see on Saturday night? I'm assuming that you've watched the first fight several...
Second round knockout, Tyson Fury standing hands up in the air victorious, because that's what he said. I believe him.
He's worried about the judges getting a decision. Didn't get a decision last time, so his mentality is, I've got to knock him out to win. Now, I think the judges will be fair. I hope they will. We're in Vegas. They're all American officials. I'm not too happy about that, but that's where we are because that's how Vegas operate. But they're all American officials. And as I say, Tyson is capable of knocking this guy out.
What do you think about his 2-round knockout prediction?
Anybody can say anything, man. I mean, you can say it. I don't buy it. Man, listen, man, when Fury came back, he weighed at 276 pounds, and I think he fought against Sephora, whatever his name is, Stefari or whatever. This dude was like 6'2", 209 pounds or so, and 3 stones or whatever you call it or whatever. And he could knock him out. He hit him flush on the chin.
It's going to be fun. You know, I've been in a lot of great fights, and somebody asked me yesterday, where does this rank on all the great fights that you've done? And I kind of thought, and real quickly, is when Klitschko fought Joshua, and then this one right here. But this one, just the energy level is high.
When he was going to fight Vladimir Klitschko, I didn't give him a chance to win that fight. But he did. He found a way to win. He won in a manner that I didn't believe he could do. Now he's saying, I'm going to go and walk Deontay Wilder down and knock him out. I'm like, nah, I don't really think he could do that. Well, I didn't think he could do that against Vladimir, so he likes proving people wrong. And I'd like to be proved wrong. If he wants to come out there and go toe-to-toe with Wilder, I know as a fan, as a boxing fan, sitting back, we're in for a hell of a treat.
Do you think that's gamesmanship from Tyson Fury, or do you expect to see him come and try and hold his feet with Deontay Wilder?
Who knows? I mean, you just don't know. I mean, my experience is that fighters don't tell you their game plan the week before the fight. So I would kind of say it's BS. But Tyson Fury kind of beats to his own drummer, so if he's telling the truth and he goes out there and does it, it wouldn't be a total shock.
When Wilder is allowed to plant his heels and then come downhill and just come forward on the balls of his feet, that's when he really launches his right hand. It's not a counter right hand. It's not a slip roll right hand. He's not a catch and counter fighter. If Fury is able to knock him off the block and then make him go backwards against his will, that fight becomes exponentially easier from a technical standpoint with Fury.
I love the fact that he's talking about being aggressive. I've never seen anyone be aggressive at Deontay Wilder. How is Deontay Wilder going to handle that? What's his response going to be? I love that. I love all of the components, the different components that are coming up and showing up in this fight.
British have certainly landed big-time pro-Tyson Fury crowd, and I loved how Deontay Wilder reacted. He channeled Hulk Hogan and went like this, and just kind of welcomed the hate. So I think it's going to be great. I love having a pro crowd instead of a split one. It's just going to be amazing. And, you know, he's still he's not like chiseled out throughout, but he's in better shape than the first fight, and that indicates to me that Fury is serious about fighting Deontay Wilder on the inside, bringing the fight to him, and going for that knockout, like he said.
I'm saying Fury, I feel like, but it's so hard because of Wilder. Everybody knows how Wilder is. I mean, he may not be the technical, he might not be technical, but he has the power, and that's all you need in the heavyweight division. But I'm gonna take a gamble, and I'm going with my guy Fury, and I'm going by knockout.
The Gypsy King, Tyson.
I think he's one of the best boxers probably out there right now in the game. He's a phenomenal boxer. I mean, the stuff that he does and the angles that he shoots from, he's underrated. He's very underrated. This is going to solidify how good he is. Like I told people before, there's no such thing as great fighters. Such thing as great fights, and this is one. This is going to be a history.
Just how emphatic a performance is this? Where does this put Tyson Fury in the upper echelon of heavyweights that you've dealt with over the years?
Oh, it's the best. It's the best of all the ones I've dealt with, and I've had a few guys who won world titles. It's the best performance for a British boxer, and more importantly, it's put him as the biggest box office draw in boxing.
It was so complete, so masterful. I think it's one of the great performances, not just even by a British boxer abroad, one of the great British sporting performances of all time.
Hey, what's up, bro?
How are you?
Hey.
What a performance.
What a performance, man. But you know, the last 2 weeks I was at the gym because, you know, it's number one, it's an honor to work with him. But everything he did in the gym, he did here. Sugar Hill and Andy Lee did a tremendous job in setting up that game plan. And props to Tyson Fury because every minute of every round that he trained,
whether it was just shadow boxing, he took advantage of all 3 minutes.
Do you know what?
Impressive.
He came in big. He used his skills and his size perfectly. He blended them together tonight, and he just took Wilder apart from the off.
Well, I don't think Tyson won the BC title. He won the crown as the most dominant, best heavyweight in the world, with all due respect to Anthony Joshua. He has to be given credit. He has 3/4 of the belts. That in itself is a great achievement, but in terms of styles and confidence and which guys at their psychological and physical apex, it is Tyson Fury. I thought that version tonight, I don't know who competes with them. He bullied the bully. And that was a performance that Emmanuel Stewart could be proud of.
I mean, I saw something special tonight. You know, this is, I think this is definitely going to be one of the fight for the ages, a historical fight. Like I said, I'm a fan. I was a fan tonight. And Tyson Fury, he definitely shocked me for sure because I was definitely rolling with Deontay Wilder on this fight.
When we got together, I think I was good for him, but he was good for me. It was a two-way thing, and it was good that we went into BT together. You know, we obviously had a contract with BT, and I got them to get on board on this journey with us, which they did, and they were very supportive. And Tyson's delivered, and I've delivered. But I say for both of us, I think we've had a fantastic journey together, and he said it last night. We've been good for each other, and that's true. That's absolutely true. I know what I'm good at doing. I know I'm good at picking the fights. I know, you know, and bringing fighters through and so forth. He's a mature guy. He's not stupid. But it has been a fantastic, fantastic journey from where he's come back from. You know, the greatest comeback of all time. From where he was, you know, he was suicidal, on the verge of killing himself, to where he is now is something special.